We're going to talk about scaling movements, but one in particular, the squat. Since it's such an important fundamental movement, we don't want to just avoid doing them and just give you a completely different alternative. Rather, let's look at 3 different ways that we can alter parts of your squat so that you can achieve the optimal position. So let's just do a traditional air squat, no tools, nothing. T has pretty good mobility. So you can see he has a flat back, crease of the hips are below his knees, heels are flat on the ground. But if we were to improve this, if I wanted him to go even deeper in his squat, I would have his knees go further forward, but have his heels start coming off the ground. So let's have that happen. So as you see, as he starts to drive the knees forward and his heels come off the ground, he can maintain a much more vertical torso. And now all of his hamstring is touching his calf. So he's basically at full range of motion. So what we can do to create this artificially is use plates. So T, just go ahead and do a squat on the plates. And you don't have to necessarily use plates. That's just what we have available. But anything that's going to elevate your heel is going to allow your knees to travel further forward and then allow you to have that upright torso and then all full depth. But this may not be enough for some people. You may need to do a second thing. So let's come up T and face the camera. Have your toes be parallel. So if his toes are parallel, he might start crowding his hips. And because he's crowding his hips, he can't go as deep as he truly can. What we can do is start pointing the toes outward. So let's go and really exaggerate that. And the more that he points his toes outwards, the further his knees are apart, and it creates more rooms for his hips to descend. And so just that small adjustment, you can see how much deeper he can go in his squat. We can also combine those 2 things, putting your heels on plates and starting to adjust your toes outwards. And the third thing is using a counterbalance. So let's look at the kettlebell as the counterbalance. T, just normally with the kettlebell, do an air squat, but face that direction. If he has the kettlebell close to his torso, it's going to mimic a back squat or a little bit more like a front squat position. The further away the kettlebell is away from him, so you start to extend, the more that he can create an upright torso. And it doesn't require the same kind of mobility as it once did. So do a couple of squats with your holding it out in front of you and try to minimize how much bend in your torso by using that as the counterbalance. Cool. So all 3 of these things, you can use them independently, you can use them together, but these are all really great tools in helping you scale the squat.